Hey guys, here in a nutshell with me, Ina. Usapang asylum seekers naman tayo. Kailangan na raw pala nila mag-check out kung sila ay nakatira sa hotel. Okay, ang sinasabi ko po, yung mga asylum seekers, again, living in hotels because binabayaran po ng gobyerno ng Canada no, ang kanilang pagsistay dyan. We had an episode a few months ago talking about just how much Canada has spent on hotels to house some asylum seekers. 2017 po, nag-umpisa gawin yan ng gobyerno as a temporary measure. So, ang tagal na, no? 2017, what? 8 years? In that period, ang nagastos na po ng gobyerno ay tumataginting na mahigit $1 billion. $1.1 billion just for hotels, ha? There is another, I think, $1.5 billion spent for other assistance given to asylum seekers. Ngayon, a few months ago, sinabi na yung pag-hotel, tatapusin na yan by September 30. In short, kailangan nilang mag-check out soon. Sinabihan na raw po ang mga asylum seekers. Ngayon, siyempre, problemado po sila. Saan na daw po sila ngayon titira? Okay, some are worried na baka mapuwersang maging homeless. Diba? Yung iba naman po, I think are being encouraged to move to a different province. Okay, meron po kasing ilang mga probinsya, halimbawa, pinayagan or rather binigyan ng IRCC ng mas maraming slots sa kanilang mga provincial nomination programs. Alam niyo naman, naghihigpit yan, no? Binawasan eh. Actually, kinalahati halos no, yung allocations for the different PNP programs. Yung iba, nakipag-negotiate sa gobyerno na dagdagan nyo naman kahit konti, no? In exchange, ang sabi ng government, sige, gagawin namin yan, pero tumanggap kayo ng mas maraming refugees or asylum seekers, mga ganyan. Anyway, what do you think about this, no? Ano kaya mangyayari sa mga asylum seekers na ito? Ang nakakalungkot, some of those who are now worried na mawawalan sila ng titirhan, meron pong mga bata. They are families. Okay? Sige, i-play na po muna natin itong report. I think this is from CBC News. Okay? Teka lang. Here it is. Okay.
Some Ottawa hotels have been housing asylum seekers for years now, meant to be a temporary measure to address an influx of claimants. Well, that federal program ends this month, and organizations worry about the impacts on Ottawa families. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada says as of mid-September, it's housing about 136 asylum claimants in one Ottawa hotel. Advocates say many of them are families with young children. The Federal Immigration Ministry says it's helping asylum seekers find housing options before the program ends, but with just a week left, organizations say families are scrambling. Several refugee lawyers across the city are working directly with claimants, trying to find a solution as the deadline looms, but are getting little answers from both the federal and city governments.
They don't know where they're going to go next. They don't have the financial means to rent accommodations. The alternative for them is to become homeless, potentially, and that's a scary prospect for many families.
Hindi ako clear, no? Kasi sinasabi, tinutulungan pa rin daw ng government for these people who will be forced out of hotels, basically, to find alternative long-term housing. Yun ba ay sagot pa rin ng gobyerno kung sakali? I'm not sure, please clarify sa akin. Hindi rin kasi clear sa akin sa report na ito. Pero mukhang hindi kung ang option kasi dito ay baka daw maging homeless nga, no? Okay.
Housing Help is an organization that works with clients to help prevent housing loss. The executive director says Ottawa's subsidized housing waitlists can take years.
So we anticipate that September 30th, our phone is going to be extra busy. And unfortunately, There's so many challenges in the housing sector right now that the options are very limited. So couch surfing and homelessness are really the options, as well as transitional housing. But often transitional housing is also already full. So it's very scary times indeed.
Meanwhile, stakeholders say IRCC is encouraging families to leave the city, even as far as the Maritimes. The city told CBC in an email it understands that IRCC is offering alternate placements and advises families to accept these options because the city's shelters are over capacity and it does not have the resources to take in more asylum claimants. This lawyer runs.
Guys, this report focuses only on the situation in Ottawa. Okay, I believe yung isa pong pinapakonsidera doon sa mga asylum seekers na mapapaalis rather na talaga sa hotel ay tumingin daw sa New Brunswick. Isa po yung New Brunswick sa mga pinagbigyan ng additional PNP slots in exchange for it to accept, I think, a few hundreds of refugees or asylum claimants doon. Okay.
The New Brunswick Refugee Clinic.
Okay.
She says there's been a flow of transfers from Ontario the past few months after New Brunswick struck a deal with IRCC to take in more refugee claimants in lieu of economic immigration spots. She says families who move there will face just as many challenges.
New Brunswick is facing similar challenges as many regions in Ontario. So there's a lack of affordable housing, for example, that we really need to prioritize their well-being and their needs to make sure they're successfully established and not to treat them as bargaining chips, essentially.
Again, hindi ko natatapusin tong report na ito, no? But what do you think about this, no? It's sana merong data kasi talking about, let's say, may asylum seeker na nakatira na sa hotel. How long are they given, diba, para makastay dyan? Kasi I understand, ang asylum seekers, pwede po sila magrantan ng work permit. Okay? Kasi nga temporary situation lang naman po ideally itong pag-house sa kanila sa hotel dahil punuan na rin daw po, no? Let's say in some temporary housing situations or mga shelters man, ano man po yan, ano? Yeah. So ideally, as a refugee, lalo na siguro kung ikaw ay may pamilya, mga bata, you would really take it upon yourselves to find work so that you can live independently. I think some asylum claimants are saying, sobrang tagal kasi daw dumating ng mga work permits minsan. In fact, I think, no, ito yung isa sa mga concerns na ni-raise ni Doug Ford sa Ontario, no, Premier ng Ontario. Sabi niya, some work permits for asylum claimants, tumatagal daw ng mga 2 years bago mabigay. Although when Doug Ford said that, I think IRCC mismo ang nagsabing hindi yan totoo. Ang processing lang daw for that is just a few weeks or at least several weeks, no? So ano ba talaga una sa lahat ang totoo? Hindi ko alam, ano? Wala po akong kakilalang asylum claimant. If you do know anybody, baka may kaibigan kayo, put them down there in the comment section kung ano ba talaga ang sitwasyon nila when it comes to finding work. I know many of you in previous episodes talking about mga asylum claimants and refugees. Marami kayong mga sinishare na storya na talagang sinasabi ninyo, marami sa kanila choosing not to find work. Ang kinukuha na lang daw po mga cash jobs para nga ma-retain, no? Hindi daw malaman ng gobyerno na sila ay may pinagkakakitaan na para ituloy yung kanilang financial incentives, no, na binibigay po sa kanila. So may ganyan din pong pang-aabuso sa mga asylum claimants at isa po yan, syempre, sa kinaiinis ng ilang mga taga dito. Syempre, diba? Pera din ng taong bayan po ang ginagamit sa kanila. Diba? Okay, I will share with you naman this report from CTV News, ano? Ay, hindi pala, The Globe and Mail. Kasi nga guys, dapat temporary lang, no, yung pag-house sa kanila sa hotels. Tumagal na nga ng 8 years So binabasa ko rin tong report na ito kanina from the Globe and Mail. It's talking about this similar situation, na asylum seekers living in government-funded hotels told to check out by next week. So as early as last year, tinimbrehan na raw ang ilan sa mga nakatira sa hotel na, kailangan nyo nang i-vacate tong hotel na to soon, ha? At ang nangyari, marami naman daw na umalis na ng kusa. And now, I believe, living independently, siguro sustaining themselves. Ito po yan, And last year, the government began issuing notices to vacate hotels to incentivize asylum seekers to search for accommodation in communities. This led to 13,000 asylum seekers leaving hotels from January 2024 to March this year. Okay, according to a briefing document for former Immigration Minister Rachel Bendayan. So ayun, it is possible. Diba? It is possible. So I wonder what happened to those who continue to stay there, na alam na nila na si September 30 na ang last day nila dyan. Nag-effort ba talaga sila maghanap ng alternative housing? O talagang maaari naman, malay mo talagang biktima rin sila ng hindi magandang ekonomiya, hindi po sila makahanap ng trabaho siguro. I will give them that benefit of the doubt. Diba? Sana may ganong information tayo, And if so, sana nga mahanapan din talaga sila kahit paano, siguro ng mga advocates for refugees, mahanapan sila ng alternative housing, Lalo na yung may mga anak, diba? Syempre malambot ang puso natin pag may mga bata pong kasama, Sabi nung tagapagsalita ng IRCC dito sa report na ito, IRCC-funded hotels were always intended as a temporary measure to ease pressure on local shelters, and this was clearly communicated to occupants from the outset. Okay, umpisa pa lang alam na nila yon. Imagine mo, umabot na nga ng mahigit $1 bilyong. Napaka-generous sa totoo lang ng Canada, pagdating dito. Claimants are being supported to move into longer-term housing. Asylum claimants receive support to find housing, employment, education, and other essential services, and are expected to transition to independent living as quickly as possible. Yan ang nangyayari. What do you think about this, guys? I hope they find alternative housing, at hindi po sila dumagdag sa pagiging do sa homeless population, which is, a totally different problem here. Well, as it is, I am sure marami rin pong mga asylum claimants sa kasamaang palad, baka nasa, living on the streets. Speaking of refugees, I will share with you before I end this episode. Maikli lang po ito, Speaking of refugees, alam niyo ba sa Quebec, inulit na naman po nung immigration minister nila dyan. Ang kanilang, pinag-iisipan, hindi pa naman po ito sure plan, pinag-iisipan daw po nila na i-limit, actually, i-cut ang social assistance na binibigay sa mga asylum seekers bilang paraan, a possible way for them to reduce yung populasyon po ng mga asylum seekers sa Quebec. Okay, ito po yan. September 17 lang po ito. Una po nilang nabanggit ito several months ago at ngayon inuulit po nila. Quebec Minister signals possible cuts to social assistance for asylum seekers. Would you support this if ito po ang i-push sa inyong mga probinsya? Okay. Sabi dito, as the Legault government seeks to reduce temporary immigration, ang kanilang social solidarity minister pala, is considering cutting social assistance benefits for asylum seekers. Ang sabi ng minister, I'm not closing the door. We are reflecting and working on it. June po pala, ayan, unang nabanggit ito ng mga opisyal ng Quebec. They threatened to withdraw services for asylum seekers if Ottawa did not act to halve the number of temporary immigrants in the province. Ayun. If Ottawa does not do the work, I cannot rule out that eventually we may have to review the service package. So, review the service package. So, maaaring hindi naman tanggalin pang kalahatan yung lahat ng ibinibigay sa mga refugees. Maaaring bawasan lang ito. Wala pa pong detalye tungkol dyan. But what do you think about that? Of course, this early, no? Yung mga balitang yan, may pushback na galing sa mga advocates, no? Especially the non-profit organizations helping out refugees. Siyempre, meron po talagang mga refugees na nangangailangan ng tulong. But at this point, no, where the different immigration streams in Canada are really, kumbaga, ang daming fraud na nangyayari. Hindi po nakaligtas pati dyan ang refugee program ng Canada, unfortunately. So I hope, officials, mabalanse po yan. Ma-determine na talaga nila sino ba talaga ang mga legitimate sa mga nagpapanggap lang para makakuha ng benepisyo. Sana may ganyan din pong sistema, no? But anyway, bantayan po natin kung ano ang mangyayari dito. Let me know what you guys think. I will end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!